Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This week's video is all about making a beginner's guide for pretty much everything that you need to think about bringing to a 2-day shooting class. I have one coming up pretty soon here, and as I was making my packing list, I thought why not share it with you guys. So let's get started. So first things first, you're gonna wanna go to where you actually signed up for your class or check your email, and your instructor should have left you with a list of essentials to bring to their particular class. This will include things like ammo and your gun and a holster and all the things that you're gonna need for that specific class. I can't really give you a comprehensive list here because every 2-day class is gonna look different. Maybe you're taking a class on how to shoot a shotgun, or maybe you're taking a drawing from concealment class. Those are gonna look really different, and the list of essentials are going to look really different. So your instructor should have provided you with a list, so see if you can track that down, and if they didn't, maybe shoot them an email. The next thing you're gonna wanna make sure you bring are comfort items. I think this is something that often gets forgotten when going into classes like these, especially if it's your first time, you've not experienced the discomfort of forgetting comfort items like a camp chair or weather-specific items. Say you're going to a class in the wintertime, or maybe it's spring and you're not sure exactly what kind of weather you're gonna be dealing with. Make sure you bring a warm coat, or maybe make sure you bring something like sunscreen or actual sun blocking clothing so that you're not worried about getting burns or getting too cold. Something that I didn't bring to my last 2-day class that I'm gonna be bringing to my second 2-day class is a full change of clothes. And this is a kind of a personal preference thing, but after a full day of shooting, I like to be able to change my clothes into something that's clean and not potentially covered in lead when I get into my truck. The last 2-day class that I took, our instructor invited us all to meet afterwards for dinner, and there wasn't time to go back to the hotel and change and meet there. And so this time I'm planning on bringing a change of clothes so that if we do wind up going out to dinner or going somewhere just immediately after the class, I have the option to change out of my clothes if maybe I spent the entire day sweating in them, or I'm just kind of feel gross in the clothes I've been wearing all day long. I at least have the option to change if I want to. This specific comfort item, I would really only recommend that you make an effort to bring if you're attending a class where you know you're gonna be drawing from concealment fairly consistently, and that is a really tight compression top that you can wear under your normal top that you can tuck in behind your holster, so that when you're drawing from concealment, you don't have to worry about rubbing your stomach raw or just getting uncomfortable from grabbing your stomach all day long. Okay, this next portion of the list is super important. Make sure you bring stuff to feed yourself and to adequately hydrate yourself. The last thing you want is to be dehydrated during a 2-day shooting class. Some classes give you the opportunity and the amount of time that you need to actually leave the range and go take a lunch, but the classes that I've been to don't usually break long enough for lunch to go leave and go find lunch. So make sure you know that ahead of time, whether or not they're gonna be providing lunch, if you need to drive somewhere and go find lunch, or if you are supposed to be bringing your own food. Okay, so now that we've talked about the list that your instructor should have left you, we've talked about comfort items, and we've talked about food essentials, let's get into talking about the gear that you wanna bring. The first thing on my list of must-haves when it comes to gear and going to a 2-day class is a mag loader. I know this is not everyone's priority, but man, does it make things so much easier when you have to load hundreds and hundreds of rounds throughout a course of 2 days. I am sure that I have saved myself some broken nails and sad moments with just having this single tool. You're also gonna wanna make sure that you bring a full-on cleaning kit that definitely includes oil. I'd also suggest bringing batteries for your optic or your EarPro, or really anything that you're using that's battery powered. Just throw some batteries in your bag just in case. If bringing a backup gun is an option, definitely throw that in your bag as well. And if you have extra parts for the gun that you're gonna primarily be shooting during the class, throw those in as well. I'd also suggest bringing something to take notes on, whether that's electronically or a physical pen and paper. Lastly, if you want to get video on something other than your phone, maybe you have an iPad and that lets you kind of watch things better, but if you have the option to actually film a portion of the class where maybe you're receiving personal instruction or somebody else is receiving instruction that you think would help you to be able to watch later, just make sure you're bringing something that you have the opportunity to film those portions of the class with. Last, but most certainly not least, you're gonna wanna make sure that you are bringing medical supplies with you. I suggest bringing a full IFAK with gloves, a compression bandage, chest seals, gauze, tourniquet, all of those things hopefully will not come in handy at all, but you're definitely gonna wanna have them if they do. I'd also suggest throwing something in like a boo-boo kit that just has your basics, like a Band-Aid, some little bits of gauze, and whatever else you might need, maybe some mild painkillers. After 2 days of shooting and loading mags and standing on your feet, you might want to have a mild painkiller to get you through the last bit of class. Thanks for watching today's video. If you're headed into your very first 2-day class, I hope that this was kind of a helpful list for you at least to get started with, but you'll likely wind up adding your own personal preference items and necessities that you feel like you want to have at your class as you continue to move along in your firearms journey. If this is your trillionth 2-day class, please comment below and let me know if I forgot anything or what you've kind of picked up over the years and things that you prefer to bring to your classes. Again, thanks for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next one.